Welcome back, everyone. Today we have a post from a person who is unhappy in their current role, and they're wondering if they should just stay or quit because it's affecting their life outside of work, even though it's a temporary role. So let's go ahead and get into it. They say, bit of background, I graduated from my zoology degree this year and have managed to land a temp job as a financial assistant for 6 months. I've been working here for just over a month now and I really dislike it. I get stressed thinking about it during my time off and it's actually affecting my sleep. I think I'm experiencing imposter syndrome, but it's hard to look at my work from an outsider's perspective. I'm in so many minds about my situation because a part of me is so grateful that I managed to get a 9 to 5 considering the circumstances and that I should stick at it and it will get easier. Another part of me is dreading the idea of just pushing through this anxiety for 6 months. Another part is thinking even if I do leave, I will just be as stressed trying to apply for jobs. A lot of it comes down to the fact I have no drive to work. It's not in a field I want to pursue, so I have no desire to stay. I'm not really sure what I want to get from this post. It just feels good to let it out. But if you have any advice, please let me know. So I can definitely understand your frustration. It's not an easy spot to be in, but the good news is you're not alone in the way you're feeling, and you have to remember this is just a temporary role. And one of the things I think that's stressing you out the most is the fact that I think you're actually too engaged with this job. And I said that right. I think you're too engaged. And let me just give me a second to explain here. So your job has become this focal point of your life and, it's affecting you like crazy, your sleep, your anxiety, this dread that you're feeling. But here's the thing. There's a healthy level of engagement people need to have in their job to be successful. But there's also a time to turn it off. For some people, they're obsessed with their job because they love it so much, and then they go all in until they get burned out. On the other hand, there's people like in your category that aren't happy in their job, and all they can think about is how much their job makes their life suck. So when you have a job that you don't like, you tend to think about it all the time, probably even more than the people who actually like that job. So before you do anything and drastically quit, you have to look at how to disengage yourself from the emotional stress your job is giving you. Because if you don't, you're never going to really be able to find that work-life balance as you continue your career. And like you said, part of this seems to be stemming from the fact that you don't really have a desire to work. So whether you change jobs or not, isn't going to fix that issue. So you need to resolve that before you can really figure out, how to find a balance in life or in your job anyway. So you got to figure out why you're not motivated to work at all, and not just in this job. So, I'm assuming this next part, so I could be wrong, but my guess is if you just graduated, you don't have kids yet, or you're not married yet. So now really is the best time to learn how to take care of yourself outside of work while you actually have work without any serious commitments and obligations. So you really need to think of this opportunity as a way to challenge yourself and how you're going to set yourself up for future success. Finding a healthy work-life balance is something that most people never figure out. So you got to try to figure that out now while the stakes are low. Because someday you might find yourself in the same situation that you're in now, but you might have 2 kids and a spouse to think about as well. So when you get to that point, then you really aren't going to have any options. You're going to have to tough it out no matter what happens. But no matter what, just always remember that you do have options. I don't know if you've ever read the book Crucial Conversations, but there's a part in it where it talks about avoiding the fool's choice. This is where you tell yourself that it's always an either-or predicament, where you're basically deciding that between 2 terrible options. And I think right now you're in that sort of mind frame because you're so emotionally drained and attached to this negative job. So the 2 predicaments are you stay and tough it out and be miserable, or leave and try to find something else, in which case you might be miserable. So here's some things to consider. So I lost my job actually at a large zoo during when this whole kind of virus started, and I can tell you that the zoology field is going to be in trouble for a long time, unless you're in animal care. But even if you are, remember that animal care isn't really a lucrative role, so that's going to have challenges you're going to need to deal with as well. However, working in finance is going to make you very marketable, even if you do break into the zoology field. Most senior keepers, curators, and higher levels keeper staff need to be able to manage budgets well because finances are really, really tight in the zoo and conservation industry. Being financially savvy is going to put you ahead of the game in front of a lot of other people. So you got to think about your current job and then the job that you really want. What skills can you learn in this current role or improve on or even perfect that you can bring into that role that you really want or even your next role? Don't just consider the direct skills either. Consider all the soft indirect skills like communication, customer service, organization, that kind of stuff. If you start to shift your mindset into what this job can do for you and your future versus I hate my job because I'm not happy and I just need to tough it out, you may actually find that this is actually a really good spot for you to be in. You may still hate your job, and that's totally fine. There's no law on the books that says you have to love your job. But that being said, consider the opportunities that you can take from this role before you just leave something behind when it's something you could learn from. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. If you want to chat more, by all means, feel free to shoot me a message. I'm more than willing to talk things through. Maybe give you a little bit of insight too, or some guidance on, what I think your next step should be. If not, that's totally cool. Otherwise, I wish you the best of luck. And like I said, just give it some thought before you make a big decision. Otherwise, I will talk to you soon.